Hello, Show here, doing a build guide for my Whirlwind Barbarian. This is the current progress I have on it. Going through all the items and the skills. So let's start. Here with the helm, we want a cooldown reduction. That's important. It's the main stat you're looking for. I have imprinted this armor gain, which is something you want in your gear, and I think it's the best on the helm with my current setup. My chest, I'm using Rage of Harrogath. This will allow me to sustain the shouts. Our goal here is to have shouts up all the time. That way, we will never have Fury mana problems, and we can spam Whirlwind, spin to win. We got the Gores. If you do not have Gores, you can use something like this. Whirlwind Gloves, that's the skill you want. Crit is your next goal to get. Attack speed and lucky hit chance. We're using Temerity, so every time we heal above 100%, we get a barrier. I think it's best in slot, and so if we use a potion, we will get a barrier, which is very defensive and nice. We got some boots here. You're looking for move speed and fury cost reduction. I like the Whirlwind imprint. There's some other imprints you can put in here if you like that. On weapons, we're looking for vulnerable damage primarily and crit damage. Those scales the best. Other options are all stats, strength, and some other stats like damage while berserking is fine. It's not ideal, you would rather have all stats, but this is what I have. So our imprint is deal 50% damage while you have a barrier, and this temerity will give us a barrier once we heal over 100% of our life. So this combo works very well together. Again, weapons, we're looking for vulnerable damage, that scales the best, and crit damage. The rest can, like slowed enemies is fine, core skill damage is fine, but it's not ideal. Oh yeah, our imprint we have, whenever we deal berserking, we deal bleed damage. 30% multiplier there, almost, if you have a max roll. Limitless rage. So this is something you want in one of your slots. It's one of the best aspects. Vulnerable damage and crit damage again. And here we have put the Whirlwind crit chance aspect. You want that as well in some of your slots. I've chosen it to put it here. Vulnerable damage and crit damage, as you can see. And your 2 rings you want to get this going, this is the most important one. I haven't found one since I played in normal. This is the only one I found, but this will activate the character and let you Whirlwind infinitely almost. And on the rings you're looking for crit and vulnerable damage, lucky hit chance, and resource generation. So those would be the ideal stats you're looking for on the rings. And this is what you want together with the bold chieftain. So every time you shout, which you will have a shout all the time almost, you get 4 fury per second. So that will let you sustain the whirlwind. On amulet here, you're looking for cooldown reduction, ideally, and then rank to all defensive skills. Movement speed is nice, there's some other choices. Amulets are really hard to... good amulets, like the perfect amulet, is really hard to get, so if you can get rank to all defense skills and cooldown reduction, you're Gucci. Let's go over. Oh yeah, and expertise. I've chosen two-handed axe. So it will allow us to get more vulnerable damage and 10% crit chance against vulnerable enemies. Let's go over the skills. So on your first two tabs you can take whatever, we're not gonna use them, but I think launching strike is the best. Max Whirlwind, we have Furious Whirlwind to get bleed. Max the pressure point for vulnerability. This is very important to scale your damage. Vulnerability is the best damage scaler in the game. We have max rallying cry. This will add fury generation and movement speed. This is very important to be able to sustain Whirlwind. Max rallying cry, and it becomes unstoppable, and resource generation and 20 fury. I put one on each of these since I'm not using main generator. I'm not using launching strike, so I can get away with using this. If you don't want to use this, or if you have mana problem, you probably want to use launching strike. That's what I did. Challenge shout. This is very needed for late game. And I put a tactical challenge here to get more fury regen. Warcry here, only one skill here, gives us berserking for 4 seconds and fortify. If you want more damage you can go for power Warcry. Max booming voice for your shouts, and I've also maxed guttural yell for some damage reduction. I maxed proliferate fury for more fury regeneration, very important. And max pit fighter, this is a multiplier. As you can see, it's an X after, so that's much better damage increase than just regular plus 9% additive damage. So here we have put max on no mercy for 9 crit, free on heavy handed for crit damage, Wrath of the Berserker for more unstoppable and more berserking, and Unbridled Rage. If you can't sustain your mana, you probably would want to go with either Walking Arsenal or Unconstrained before you can do this, but once you can get this and can sustain your mana, you gotta get a big jump in damage. Paragon, we got on the first board you want to go vulnerable. This is your best. This will make everything vulnerable for 2 seconds if it's not upgraded. So definitely go with this one first. This will apply vulnerable. It's the best damage multiplier in the game. And then we have Dissemble. This is to be able to sustain your war cries. Your goal is to have infinite shouts all the time, which this build almost can do. We have put some skills on Hunter Killer here. It's a pretty good node if you want to go this route. Helped a lot early game for me. And second, you want to get Warbringer or the third board. This is really good. This will allow you to do the highest content much easier. We have put Marshall here for more well, again, shouts. Shouts is your key to success. So this will lower the cooldown of shouts. So we're looking for cooldown reduction on their gear, these kind of glyphs. This helps for shouts, or for shouts and war cries. Same with this one. That's why we picked them. Hungering Fury is very nice. Fury on kill, so you can Whirlwind more often, can sustain it. I've got the next board I've gone to is Decimator for more vulnerability application. There's a lot of good vulnerable nodes. We're going for this one, vulnerable damage. I'm gonna go to this one too later. And I'm about to socket a glyph. Haven't figured out what glyph I want to socket, but I think I have enough damage, so I'm probably gonna go with something defensive here. But we can switch up. Also later I'm gonna put Marshall here. Marshall grants bonus to all magic nodes. So I'm putting it here because there's a lot of good magic nodes up here. Vulnerable damage, vulnerable damage, vulnerable damage, damage reduction from vulnerable. So we're gonna get 6 juicy blue ones if we put Marshall up here. That gets the bonus. So that's the build.